Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a while. You'll have to let me know how everything sounds, cause I'm trying to remember how everything works. Yeah, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing well. We're back, and I'm trying to remember how to play Minecraft, cause it's been a while. I remember my controls. Hmm, this one. Is this the right one? I think so. Right. Okay. Gotta remember how to do this. Do I have even enough stuff? Maybe. Maybe not. I think the answer is not, and I need to chop some acacia trees. Yeah, how's everyone doing in chat? Hope you're doing well. Aubrey, hello, welcome in. Okay. Gotta get some more saplings. I'm not doing too bad. Just trying to get back into the swing of things after taking quite a bit of a break from streaming content and stuff. How long does it take to get me to be married? Well, I already am married, so You're joking? That's fine.
Construction houses in Duskhearth, and it's going swimmingly, except for the mobs that want to pop up.
Hello.
Oh, hi. Jeez, you actually did scare me a little bit there.
So it turns out I do have it installed, but I don't remember what my keybinds or anything are, and I don't really want to mess with those settings right now, but...
That's fair. I just went ahead and... Yeah, we'll see. We'll save that for next time. Hi, buddy. It's been a while.
Yeah. That's what I named my stream.
Hey, it's been a while.
Hey, it's been a while.
Minimize that. It's been a while. So how you doing, Roth? It's been a while. I don't know. I'm just repeating myself at this point.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Honestly, mood.
Chat asked, how long has it been? 2 months. 2 months since
That's what I was just saying earlier. I'm like, this dude probably hasn't been on in like almost 2 months now.
Basically, exactly. March 2nd was the last I streamed.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you're getting there. For sure. Okay.
I'm here. I'm here now.
It's very basic, but it looks good. So I hear you got some interesting lore stuff you want to talk about.
Yeah. Let me pull up my notes, because I made notes, which is good because I had already forgotten when you said, yeah, we can go over this stuff again, and I'm like, I think I thought ahead and I made notes, so let me pull up my notes.
That's good. While you're doing that, I'm going to pull up my next construction site schematic that I made. And probably
Question is, where did I put my notes? I think it's in Google Drive.
By the way, at some point, you, like any of the stuff that you made in your own world anvil revolving around this, you should send to me or give me access to it so that I can just like copy paste and put it into the official one. True. So that people can actually see what you've been working on too instead of just me.
Yeah. That'd probably be a smart idea.
Yeah, it would probably be a little bit smart. Oh, I almost forgot already again about the flooring. That needs to go in here. I know you had mentioned stuff of like potentially like primordial or religion or something like that.
Yeah. All right. So I got my notes up and
okay.
Just kind of a few points. Hold on, chat wants me to tell a joke. My sister bet me $15 that I couldn't build a car out of spaghetti. You should have seen the look on her face as I drove pasta.
I should have seen that one coming.
But right, lore stuff.
So
right,
lore stuff.
We had already kind of touched on. Well, let me get my schematic up so I can try to build a little bit as I talk.
Or just jump around.
About yeah, that's exactly what I was doing, running around, jumping in circles.
That's great.
Yeah, talked a little bit before about like your, what are they called, mist rights or something? I forget what you called them.
Mist whites, I believe.
Whites, yes, something like that.
Actually, I'm gonna pull up my world anvil really quick so I can remember what I said. I gotta log in.
But like basically them being
like primordial beings that have existed on this plane, but were never really discovered until Duskhearth was first being established, type of thing. I believe that's what it was. Let me pull up world articles. Creatures and species. Mist whites. Yeah, that's what I called them.
Mist whites.
Mist whites.
But yeah.
Also, Encino says, great dad joke.
Thanks. My bot in chat came up with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the mist whites being kind of ancient, primal, magical, or mystical beings or forces or whatever. And so I was like, okay, what if, like, that's not the only thing. Like, what if there are magic and beings and kind of like primal forces that are as old as the world,
just as old.
or older than the world almost?
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying with that.
At least older than what everything currently around considers creation.
Yeah.
So essentially, like, the world kind of already existed, like, before the gods created the various races. No, I do not have a puppy.
Yeah, these are their like initial creations type thing.
I was even thinking like the idea of the gods came from another plane of existence or something like that, and like this primal magic was already here when they arrived.
Okay. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
So like that's why it's like the current races in the time period, what they view as creation in quotation marks, because it was like their creation, but like
yeah, like there were other things that were already created that were here before them.
Yeah. I do not have a pet.
That type of thing. Did I put a floor in here? Yes, I did.
But yeah, basically what I have written down is the world already existed before the gods came from another plane, potentially. The gods tamed or mastered something.
I kind of like the thought of taming almost.
Taming or mastering or like controlling the old magic for the most part.
Yeah.
And then some of the gods created the races that we now have as basically their children, and while others proclaimed themselves the gods of the old magic they tamed. So like, you know, we have the god that made the dwarves and stuff, and like there can be gods and goddesses and deities of like multiple things, like the god of the dwarfs, also maybe the god of like forging or whatever.
Right.
It's pretty standard stuff, but like,
but not copy and paste Owlay.
Yeah.
Walmart brand Owlay. Got it. Temu, yes. Temu Owlay.
But yeah, but then I was kind of like, maybe potentially the Fae and like Fae beings are part of the old magic, or like descended from it or created from it.
Yeah.
And we're like, and potentially are the only like sentient beings to predate the god's arrival.
Okay. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying.
And then like kind of druidic magic would primarily be pulled from like the old magic, the old world magic or whatever. I would like to like actually come up with like terminology and stuff eventually, instead of like new magic and old magic and
old magic.
whatever.
Yeah,
but like that's for now just calling it that.
Placeholder stuff.
Yeah. And then
Which I mean, it's fine.
I came back to get some kind of resource, and I already forget what I was supposed to be. But then, what the elven goddess, to have kind of befriended the Fae, because like usually elves and Fae are pretty closely connected.
They're pretty tied together. Yeah.
And so I kind of want to say that the elven goddess befriended the Fae, and like fully is like, hey, we're guests of this world. Like, we didn't create the world, we're guests of the world or whatever. And that's kind of where the elves get their nature focus on nature and like that kind of thing from.
Right. Which I guess.
Hi, chat. I'm
kind of that would
how's it going?
Potentially work just like the way that we're talking about this primordial stuff. Now that I'm thinking about it, would actually work really well with my concept for like what is considered the deep dark.
Yeah.
Of this world is that like it's a whole nother subterranean layer that isn't really discovered or known about until the dwarves stumble across it when they are initially delving. Deep. Yeah, we're... Shh. But I don't really think that like too greedily or too deep. It's just more so of like the dwarves were just simply exploring because they're curious about what else is in the earth type thing. Not because, oh, they found wealth, they're just going to continue to dig up this wealth type deal. I guess it's more of like a curiosity than greed. Although in this part of the world is like, yeah, these are where the more precious resources are. So kind of similar to that, but actually what we can do is I can pull it up really quick. It was the dwarves.
I also like the fact that like the gods didn't create the whole world. That is like not a known thing.
Yeah. It's like they didn't make the world, so what did?
Yeah. Well, even
I do like
that, but also like they don't know, like not only are they like, hey, we don't know what made the, like, I would say that the mortals of the world are kind of in the mortals of the world also don't know, like they don't know that the gods didn't make it, if that makes sense. Like, so the gods, maybe some of them lied and said they created stuff, maybe some just kind of were like, their followers thought they made it and they didn't correct them type of thing or whatever.
Yeah, kind of like blind obedience type.
Yeah, the people just kind of assume that the gods made the world, but like the gods are just kind of like, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I kind of like the concept of that, and
no, I can get behind that.
Like for all intents and purposes, like just about everyone is under the impression that the gods are the creators of everything, basically.
Yeah.
I would say there's probably like some like more like either slightly anti-religion or like more scientifically based potential factions or whatever that are
tied together to some sort of degree.
Yeah, like they exist and they are like, yeah, we don't like. Surely there's
We
some
don't.
kind of faction out there, or factions out there that don't believe in the gods and that they created everything.
Right.
So like, there's probably some out there, but like, yeah, most people don't put a whole lot of thought into much beyond that. And so I kind of want to, like, at some point, and it doesn't have to be a definitive list, but like come up with a list of like, hey, these are what the kind of the core aspects of the primal magic are, like light, dark, water, fire, earth, and
Yeah.
like more, but like that kind of stuff. We'll come up with that, and it's like the gods tamed or mastered it or controlled it or whatever. Some of the gods are more benevolent than others, while others it was definitely more of a like a take and conquer type thing.
Yeah.
So like there's gonna have like that kind of aspect to it. Like different gods have kind of a different relationship to the things they claim to be the god of or whatever.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying with that. Yeah, so I pulled up, like, I don't know if we actually talked about it at all, but, like, the whole idea and concept behind the Dark Depths. So I wrote this up on the World Anvil, but basically what the Dark Depths is, it's a subterranean region of the world where the rarest ores and most precious gems can be found. This region of the world is only inhabited by certain creatures and fauna, as sunlight does not come close to touching it. The first discovery of this region was first made by an expeditionary mining group by the Malayan dwarves in search of their ores, but stumbled upon this subterranean region. After sending more expeditionary groups to see what this region was and the wealth that lay within it, they quickly learned of the hostilities that are also kind of protecting these resources. So as the dwarves expanded more and settled in other parts of the world, when dwarves would delve to find ores and gems, it was discovered that this region was not just isolated to one area, but the entire world. And then, in pursuit of the precious ores that are found in the Dark Depths, which I guess kind of goes into a little bit of dug too greedily, too deep, but this is always a work in progress too. In pursuit of these precious ores and gems led to innocent miners going missing or even killed while attempting to collect the resources. And then eventually, after a couple like council meetings of dwarven emissaries and all that kind of stuff, kind of more towards like the earlier parts of dwarven establishment in the world, there was a decision that was made so that only volunteer miners would go, but were also paid handsomely for, you know, their actions.
Love hazard pay.
They would also, yeah, basically hazard pay, or they would use like criminals that would come into the kingdom, like for stealing or, you know, other crimes or whatever. They would send those criminals down there to then use as I'm not gonna say slaves, but I can't think of another word. But basically that's like
community
their
service.
Yeah, community service. You know, you did bad thing, so you're gonna spend X amount of time doing community service.
AKA mining in a super dangerous.
Beat you.
For sure, yeah. Oh.
Will I come back from this mining trip? Well, we can't necessarily guarantee that, but you committed a heinous crime. So I guess more so it's like they're like the whole law system still needs a little bit of development, obviously, but like maybe it's the most heinous crimes,
right,
that those people are sent down. Like steal some food from a cart or something like that, slap on the wrist type thing. But if you're like, oh, I committed mass genocide, okay, well, you're now going down into the dark depths type thing. So that's kind of like the whole concept, which I guess, no, I did not finish even reading this, but yeah, so it would either be volunteers, like volunteer dwarves that would get hazard pay, or the utilization of criminals, whether it be dwarven or any other race, would be sent down to the dark depths to either fend off the creatures from, like, to protect the miners and stuff, or just be miners themselves type deal.
Nice.
Right. Yeah, so that's how that all works. What is chat saying here?
The last little note that I have, so like some of the gods were like, hey, I'm the god of light, but really they just, like, the gods are still super powerful beings, of course, and like have some power to create, but I would say they probably, in like the grand universe of this, they aren't necessarily the most powerful being. Like, there's probably more powerful beings out there, whatever. But like, yeah, they are super powerful. So like, but like, they aren't as powerful as they say they are, or are perceived to be. But like, they would still mop the floor with mortals, like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Phase telling me you cannot deny the greedily in the too deep. Listen, I can't help it. I'm a dwarf at heart. It's just part of my nature.
But yeah, the last little bit kind of goes into that, and that maybe some of the primal forces were not as tamed or controlled as claimed or thought. So primal chaos potentially led to the corruption of some of the gods, and then that's kind of what kicks off the Chaos War, which we have kind of talked about a little bit.
Very, very vaguely talked about here and there.
And one reason I really like this route of kind of deities and magic and all that is that, like, in the Chaos War, potentially some of the corrupted gods were in prison, some were maybe like purified more or less, and then like maybe some died or whatever. But like that way it's like things can keep on, the world keeps on turning, essentially. So like, for example, if like the god of light dies,
welcome in, small boy, how you doing?
Like, hey, we still have light, and like the sun still does its thing. Like, we're not just plunged into eternal darkness or whatever, like that type of thing. So it's like, hey, things can still exist even without the gods, because I feel like it's war, so like maybe some of the gods could have died, or I don't know, figure it out later. But
all concepts discussed are a work in progress. They are not finalized.
Yeah, but then that kind of can be like, hey, yeah, some of the corrupted gods were imprisoned in the realm that later gets tapped into for more or less fast traveling. But
yeah,
and then the whole that's kind of system. Like a big, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
That's how I kind of like tied everything together. I was
yeah, is that like the fast traveling, the portals are kind of like part of that primordial magic that eventually the Arvask Empire would tap into and utilize to basically conquer.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying there. Glad to
Like
hear you're doing good, small boy.
it's kind of old magic, but it's also kind of like another plane of existence, like type of thing. But yeah.
Right. You know, I get what you're saying.
I also am on the fence about something, and it's like it doesn't have to be decided now, but I just want to share my
Get it out
thoughts
there.
on it. So and tons of media and like D&D in general. So like I've been thinking about how to make this world work with D&D for a campaign that I would like to do. So in D&D, like the D&D universe, the Feywilds or the Fey plane, or sometimes just called Fairy or whatever, is a separate plane of existence from kind of the main plane. And it's parallel to it, and so like there are weak points between the fabric of reality that you can travel to the Feywilds and all that.
Right.
And they kind of have their own stuff. So like time is different in the Feywilds, and like they have their own whatever. Physics are probably slightly different or whatever. So I was debating on whether or not I wanted like there to be something like that for the Fae. And like I kind of was thinking that maybe if we go with the idea that the Fae are kind of the most ancient sentient beings to exist on the play on this world, then like having them have their own plane of existence maybe isn't the way to go, unless when the Rakavans started conquering everything, they did ancient Fey magic or whatever and caused basically the Feywilds to happen.
Right.
So like they use some kind of magic to basically cause the planes to split, and so then it can kind of work with the D&D magic and whatever, where it's like, hey, like they did it as like a safety thing basically, or like, hey, bad things are happening, so we're going to basically do some crazy magic, and we're going to like be here but also not be here, with how the plane kind of overlaps and sometimes appears within. Yeah, it's kind of a wacky, not like wacky in a bad way thing, but kind of an interesting concept.
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I definitely like the whole idea behind the primordial stuff, and like the gods are not the ones that made this world, so that kind of makes sense for like some of the primordial beings and creatures and even some realms of the world that are kind of like still wild.
Yeah.
And maybe even kind of unexplored is like the far like if we were to like take the world map in perspective, it's like where we have a majority of like our civilizations, like outside of those regions, is where it's like the most untamed, the most wild parts.
I like that.
If that makes sense.
I love that, actually.
I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna forget
Write that down, write that down. And I think that could be
Nope, that's wrong book.
potentially like out where the orcs have gone and hidden. Like that could be one of the unknown regions or untamed regions, or
Yeah.
we'll have to come up with
Yeah, so like
a
the
name.
orcs are like kind of almost I feel like the orcs could kind of almost be a part of that primordial, like part of the primordial beings, if that makes sense. But I'm gonna write down outer ideas.
I forgot I had the Voxy. Is it Voxy? Something like that. I see Z-Man's Mountain.
Yeah.
It's not finished yet, though. Because I haven't been over there in a while.
Yeah, you probably still do have that unfinished version. I think if I were to remove my shaders, I can then see your castle from here. Hold on. Write down that Vey is the eldritch god of mischief. I mean, you if there would be anybody that would be, it would be you, Vey. But right, remove shaders. I can see Roth's castle from here.
Yippee!
Well, because I use shaders, it don't work like that. I mean, I probably could adjust like the cloud settings or whatever, so that, or even the fog, so that it could render. But I don't feel like messing with those settings right now. But I'm going to finish writing down my idea.
Yeah, we'll have to come up with some kind of name for the unknown regions or whatever. I would just say let's use the unknown regions, but that's just a Star Wars thing.
Is that seriously?
Yeah.
I really don't know that much about Star Wars, but I wouldn't think that there would be something that simplistic for like that, but whatever.
Yeah, they're known as the unknown regions, unknown space, the unknown territories, the unknowns, and the outer reaches. It's just basically a huge portion of the galaxy that is relatively unexplored and doesn't have many like hyperspace lanes that go through it and stuff.
Okay, so what I wrote down was for like currently outer world ideas. It's like beyond the established regions of beings and civilizations are the wilder regions that the gods did not fully tame. The further out into the world travelers go, the more untamed creatures and primordial beings there are. Type thing. Okay, so we got a couple of these structures in. I feel like maybe we even cut it off at here, because this road. Oh, I guess I should probably show you guys what I did manage to do off camera. Let's go into cheaty cam really quick. So I went ahead and I flattened out this region here because it was like a lot taller. You know, it's probably stretched it a little bit closer towards the edge here. Brought it back. I could probably expand this so I could maybe fit some like a smaller build in there, but we're not going to worry about it. So we'll have this road stretch from where it currently is, kind of run along this trail of trees, and then back in this area is where we're going to put a lumber yard. So like a logger road and all that stuff comes up from here. But that's a whole lot of planning I yet have to do. Hello, YouTube. Are you okay? I think
The Wildscape.
the wildscape.
Yeah,
Is that what you want to call it?
that was an idea I had. I googled it. It's a term that already exists, but it's like it's used as like a term that's good talking.
Yes,
it's where people intentionally like let kind of the wilderness take back or whatever, or they like intentionally like plant like native
plants and stuff.
yeah. I was trying to think of an encompassing term and then forgot about
Then forgot words. Got it.
yeah. But yeah, basically that, where it's just like, hey, we have this section, we have all these wildflowers and native trees, and we just kind of like let it do its thing or whatever. So like it is something that is a term that already exists, but like I don't know.
I feel like that's a fairly vague enough term.
There's also a podcast called The Wildscape, but I don't know what it has anything to do with. I didn't look at it that much, but
You were probably just like, let's Google this word and see if it's being used for something.
basically.
Yeah, no, that's all valid. I do kind of like that idea, but like instead of it being just like the return of nature or whatever, it's more so of like for our universe.
Yeah, we don't have to use the same definition that already exists. Like that's
basically what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, I was more so just explaining it is a term that already exists, but like yeah, it's not being used in the same way that we would be using it.
Right. Gotcha. All right, so now that we've expanded that a little bit, I feel like we might have enough space to fit one more house. I do want to put in another construction.
But yeah, we can workshop it potentially, or we'll figure it out.
Let's circle back on this team.
Yeah, let's circle back on this. Let's put a pin in that. But alternatively, I was also just thinking like it could just be called The Wild, but and I kind of wanted something that's a little more to it.
A little more oomph.
Yeah. A little more like, ooh. Like, although just The Wild is kind of like, whoa, kind of like The Wild, but
right.
We shall see.
Well, I might have to take that one time. See, this is a rather large. I might have to rotate it again.
But going off
pivot. I'm sorry.
Hello? Going off one of your viewers a little bit. Um, the concept of like eldritch stuff, that could be kind of like the primal stuff. And maybe like if we do end up having like a kind of like a eldritch, I don't like, we wouldn't have like, hey, this is the eldritch god that created eldritch stuff. Like, it's not going to be like that, but like maybe what if one of the corrupted gods more or less becomes like what is considered eldritch by most fantasy standards or whatever.
Okay.
Or it could just be like pure like primal magic and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, just shooting some ideas, but yeah.
You know, I kind of like that idea too. Is that like it's more almost like the horrors that are not really known of.
Yeah. But
so it's like even it's yeah, it would be tied into like some of the primordial stuff, but having it being so ancient that it's haunting type stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of horror by any means. Like Stranger Things is like
trust me, I know.
The only horror thing show I've watched is Stranger Things, and I don't even know if that really counts or not. Like, I don't.
There's no way that Stranger Things is considered horror.
I mean, it kind of is. It's kind of like eldritch cosmic horror type stuff a little bit, but I don't know. I do like that type of stuff. So I
didn't really lean into it much, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I would like to have some of that in the world. Take ideas from it at least.
Yeah, I'm not saying that we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not because D&D is coming out with a horror book for the 5.5e edition this year.
Oh boy. Guess we know where Roth's gonna get some inspiration from.
Right. There's some like they revealed a little bit about some of the new subclasses and stuff that are going to be with it, and it just sounds so cool. I shared it with Soulswan because he loves that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Right.
I'll have to send the link at some point. But yeah, that would be cool. Cool to do.
Fame drop.
But yeah. We could almost view like potentially like the primordial stuff. That's like in air quotes like the old gods, but they aren't really sentient.
Sentient?
Sentient? However you say that word.
Sentient.
Sentient. I feel like there's sentient is also a word. No, maybe not. But yeah, sentient. Like they're no, not really sentient. Kind of just there. Right. Almost like they're kind of like ideas. If that makes sense.
Kind of?
Like they're ideas and concepts. And like pretty basic ideas and concepts. Like light and water and or whatever. I don't know. But,
Okay,
like,
yeah.
like you can't
No, I get
really
that.
destroy them or kill them. Like, because how do you kill the idea of something?
Right.
So, like,
Okay, yeah, I get what you're
there's
saying now.
there's logic and reason to them within the concept of themselves. So, like, water has certain properties that it adheres to or whatever, but, like, it's
Mhm.
maybe not, like, well, at least in our world, water is not sentient. As in, real life water is not
Sentient water. Water
You
that
know.
will intentionally drown you.
But, like, ooh, that gave me an idea, actually.
Sentient water?
Kind of, yeah. Write that down. It's gonna be an encounter in D&D at some point.
Oh no.
Uh,
I don't like that.
Z-Man's never stepping in a puddle of water or going outside when it's raining ever again in D&D now.
I'm gonna run through the puddles. Give me a constitution saving check.
What?
What?
Like you step in the puddle
It's
and
just a
it's like,
puddle. Is it just a puddle? God, now I'm gonna be paranoid about that. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
you're welcome. But like, that could be like the idea of like various spirits. So like water spirits or whatever. Like
Okay.
exist, like, or like water nymphs or whatever you want. And they, like, the spirits and fays, like, those could be kind of tied to that or whatever. Like, yeah.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh, yeah. I had a lot of shower thoughts the other day. I'm just kind of
Oh gosh.
figuring. My brain was. The old idea factory was working overtime.
Of course. The brain that never sleeps.
Yes. Great.
Yeah, so like some of the stuff that
That's
I
my new
wanted
band
to...
name, The Brain That Never Sleeps.
Some of the ideas that I wanted to kind of like establish a little bit, because like as I mentioned before already, like the next project, so that I don't get burnt out with Dustcarth, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm already starting to kind of get there with it, was the long road from Carmelithor to the outskirts. The long road to like the outskirts of the Elven Kingdom.
Yeah.
For anybody, well, I guess I never really talked about it, so I'll talk about it in chat. Basically, what I have in my head is that there's going to be a nice long road that cuts from Carmelithor and the forest region of it, and then it's going to come through, cut by this mountain here, probably have it go around or something, and basically it's going to end between these two rivers here, where there'll be like a mountain range that kind of goes around the Elven Kingdom region, whatever you want to call it. So that's where that kind of ends. And then off of this one of the main roads, I guess you could consider it like a highway or something, there would be branching off roads that would lead to other hamlets, settlements, and kingdoms and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, I want nothing to do with building mountains for a very long time.
Right, you have a whole road to make before you get there.
Yeah, literally.
Well,
I have a long road to make before I get there.
I will be participating in the mountains around the Elven area for sure.
Yeah.
Is it
Like they're
needed? No, not really. but it'll be cool. And I feel
It'll
like
be cool.
it's, in a way, it's my brain, like, using it to come up with a logical reason why there's just, like, a giant frozen area or whatever. Like, maybe,
Right.
like, the mountains.
Because it is like a very abrupt
It's, yeah, it's just
change
kind of
in the
there. So,
world.
like, if there's a mountain
So like
range
you want to
there.
have something that would break that apart.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a mountain range is kind of acting as like a natural barrier. That's why there's such different climates. And like maybe this wintry climate is a result of the Chaos War or something. Like this entire area got blasted by who knows what, and then it's kind of just like a cold wasteland now or whatever. That's
Some
kind of
primordial being said. So anyways, it started blasting.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I
kind
just
of
made a bunch of sticks. I deserve that a little bit. Don't need all these sticks.
EX.
DX. Crafting table. Actually put a proper floor in here. Yeah, like one of the things that I wanted to talk about today too is like kind of starting to come up with some ideas that are not just strictly the Arvosk Empire or the Rockvan, whatever it is. I already forget. It's whatever. So that I could start making other storylines.
Yeah.
For why each place is where it's at type thing.
Yeah.
So like when the humans start their expansion, like I believe we already agreed on the fact that like it's not just going to be one empire. It's going to be like there's going to be a faction or there's going to be multiple factions of an empire that's like evil, and then there are other human factions that resist that, which are considered good.
Yeah.
Type thing. It's like that just makes sense for world building purposes.
Yeah,
you don't want just like an entire race to be evil.
Yeah.
Type thing.
Now,
although to be fair, humans are kind of trash.
Right. But like there'll definitely be, depending on whose point of view you're at, like there might be certain races or whatever that are just blatantly like all humans are evil or whatever. Like there will be,
right,
but
because of like the part of the Chaos Wars or whatever, or like even back to when creation is first started and the reason why there's conflict between the various races, and why like the whole concept that we talked about before was like the humans basically kicked out every other race from the area of creation type thing. We did go over that, right?
kind of. I thought it was more of like it just got too crowded and wasn't necessarily like intentional, but we can leave it ambiguous. Because I kind of like the idea of like several possibilities as to why something happened, and it's like,
and maybe because it's like such an old record, quote unquote record, it's like more so just kind of like an oral tradition type thing.
Oral tradition
that,
that started as someone's opinion of what happened.
Yeah, basically. That's kind of like the whole
like that makes a whole world feel real. Like when it's like, hey, yeah, not everyone agrees on how everything went down everywhere all the time. Like,
Right.
you know, like, and it's like kind of in real life, like a ton of different cultures have like flood stories or whatever. Like obviously there's like the Bible
Right.
or whatever. That has Noah's Ark and all that, but then there's also like what's his name? Gilgamesh, I think.
Yeah, Gilgamesh. That's
And like
definitely in that.
I know there's others, but like those are the two that like I can think of in my head right now.
Right.
But like
No, yeah, I totally get what you're
yeah.
saying.
So there's like that where it's like, hey, like all these people have different records of potentially possibly the same thing, but like they differ as to what actually went on, or maybe nothing actually went on, and like yeah. But I do like that.
No, I definitely like that thought too. I'm gonna write that down.
Like having inconsistencies to some degree helps things feel more real. Cause like obviously like, hey, we kind of want like some things to be very consistent, like how magic works, and kind of like have a general like rule of like magic or whatever, which is basically like, yeah, that way it's like, hey, like some things follow a certain logic, but then other things like how the world came to be and all that is kind of more ambiguous, either because it's unknown or like different. It was so long ago that different people have different views on it, and it's led to different stories as to how it actually happened.
This pen's dying on me already. Sharpie pen. So basically what I just kind of wrote down here was that like each race will have consistencies in which how the world came to be and the way of oral tradition that different interpretations and opinions also came to be, which then caused certain aspects of stories to favor certain races and unfavorably paint races in a negative light too. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like once the region got so crowded that there were stories of like, yeah, the humans forced us out of there so we couldn't stay where we originated from. So we don't like the humans. Or, oh, the region just got super crowded, so we wanted to go out and see what else there was in the world type thing.
Yeah.
So I think having that established,
So like, yeah, the fact that
help with how
everything was
determine.
crowded is kind of like the common denominator of most of these stories.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that's probably true, but like exactly like
We can at least,
were the humans? Did the humans actually try to kick everybody out?
or maybe another race tried to, and the humans were like, no, no, no. So we're gonna fight back. Type thing. So yeah, I think having that ambiguity will be good to allow a lot more creativity when it comes to like those types of stories.
Yeah.
And just the creation of more storylines.
It also helps with the not one race is the sole bad guys, like type of thing.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like, yeah, the orcs and the goblins, they kicked everybody out. Wow, the orcs and goblins are the evil ones. Whoa. Like,
Right.
oh.
Yeah, I definitely think just the oral tradition of the vagueness, but having the same consensus at the same time will be good. So like I said, I try not to. I feel like once we start getting more like established houses and civilizations, is when we can start really getting into interactions and story events type thing.
Yeah.
Also, hi there.
Hi.
You like this little construction site that I've got going on?
Nice. But also having it kind of ambiguous will make things a lot easier for when I actually run the D&D campaign.
True.
Like, it's the more I've researched and looked into how other people run their campaigns and stuff, like, it's always a good idea to have some ambiguity and like some stuff left open-ended. Because like,
Right, because having a full story is not necessarily good either. You
yeah,
wanna at
you
least
want your
have
players to
players
have input and
form opinions and
yeah,
yeah,
and like you
input.
never know what your players are gonna do. And
Also
so
true.
like having just having some openness, having some things open-ended.
Yeah.
Like it's a good idea to have like some central plot points, but then kind of, let the players fill in the blanks to connect those up. And like
Right.
kind of guide, as the DM, you kind of guide them from point to point and just kind of help fill in some of the stuff. And like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess more so like for me is that like taking this universe, like your main goal out of this is like you want to make a D&D campaign out of this, right?
Yeah, or multiple, but like just one to
Or
start for now.
multiple, which is that's
multiple
awesome and all, but like for me is that like I want to take this and also turn it into an actual book type deal.
And like I definitely will be like with this recording everything and whatnot for the campaign when we do it, which probably could still be a while considering I'm playing in a campaign and running another campaign already and trying to get a hang of this whole DMing thing, But I do plan on doing that, and then it's like it kind of it takes strain off of us for coming up with everything if we do a D&D campaign and we just kind of have like, here's kind of the some of the main stuff, which some of the main stuff that I have ideas for, I haven't told you everything because I have ideas that I would want to be a surprise for you in the campaign and stuff.
Right. No, I totally
So
get
like,
that.
yeah, there's some stuff like that, but like, you know, it'll help us out because it'll help flesh out our world more, and like some of the other players will probably have some crazy insane ideas that we wouldn't have thought of otherwise, and we can be like, sweet, we're gonna use that. Like, thanks for the idea.
Sweet.
Like, it's
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those things that's like, sweet.
Write that down, write that down!
exactly.
We're gonna write that down.
Like, there's just, yeah, there's gonna be moments that happen where it's like, I never would have thought of that. Or like, this goes back to leaving some stuff more open-ended. Like, you could like set up a plot line or whatever, and then like your players might start theorizing about what's gonna happen, and then, you know, make what happens if you don't have something set in stone as to what you want it to end at. Make it something that they were theorizing about, or a combination of it, or whatever.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I like that.
But yeah, so most of the lore and stuff that I've been coming up with,
Hey, yo.
my brain is not working very well tonight.
Don't worry, mine isn't either.
But yeah, coming up with has been more of like broad stuff and kind of like getting a feel for, like, you know, how magic works and like different deities and stuff. And even some of the deities I want to leave semi-ambiguous. Like, probably have ideas for some, but like if any of the players in the campaign want to be paladins or clerics that serve, and then like having players come up with their backstories or parts of their backstories and working with the DM to kind of flesh those out or whatever. Like, I want my players to basically play the character that they want.
Right.
And dude, I freaked out about all these name tags here inside your mountain.
And you're just like, wait a minute, who's there?
Oh, there's 4 other people online.
Wait a minute. If I'm here, you're out there.
Who's
Then
in the
who's in
mountain?
here? No, I decided, as like a way to commemorate my channel members and all that stuff, I decided to make armor statues for them.
Nice.
So like they're basically protecting the main entrance of the mountain type deal. I think it was a cool way to go about that.
Your diorite.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
that's
he's
why I
definitely
came
here
up-
for a reason.
That's why I came over here, was to get diorite, but then I got distracted and I wanted to check out what you were doing.
No, that's valid. What do you think of the progress that I've made on Duskhearth?
Looking good.
I feel like I might be slightly overdoing it a little bit on the grass and maybe even the trees to some degree, because like I wanted this to
Looks
be
good.
like, I wanted it to be like a countryside town, but I also wanted to have like enough trees and greenery so that it wasn't just barren.
Yeah,
At the
I
same
think this
time.
is good. I like this. This feels like an appropriate amount.
Okay. Yeah, because like, I mean,
This is nice.
I want to add like some, obviously, so, like some more grass and stuff like that. I'm actually, because I have a new resource pack that gives like varying different textures to grass in general.
Yeah.
It's like taller grass has like more of like like those tall white wildflowers that grow like alongside roads and stuff like that. Since I have varying stuff like that already, I think I could potentially remove like the wheat and stuff that I put down. Wait, did I not install this resource pack? No, I did not install it. I found a resource pack that basically takes like the leaves on the ground, like the leaf litter that you can make,
Yeah.
and it makes them like fluffy.
Oh, nice.
But I don't have it installed. It does look really nice. I very much like it, but it also is a little bit wonky because it'll take like a corner block or like a corner of that, you know, just
Right
like
in.
sticking
Hello,
up
welcome
a little
in.
bit. And it does look a little strange, but like if you have like a full block of leaf litter, it does look like a leaf pile.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my.
I was saying something before
other
I got
computer.
distracted by the name tags in there, but I don't remember what it was.
Classic.
I-
Roth got spooked.
Something about D&D in this world, but I don't remember. Oh, right. So like if I don't want to like fill out the whole pantheon of gods. Be like, hey, this is what the options you have to choose from as a cleric or paladin to who you serve or whatever, but rather kind of like, you know, have some ideas and like have some groups of things. So like, oh, the other thing I wanted, so like groups of things. So like, it's not like a one-to-one, like, hey, one of these gods tamed the primordial light, like,
Right.
and that's the only thing. Like, I think there should be like, hey, they tamed light, and maybe there's something else that's similar or can kind of like, they tamed light, but they also made themselves the god of other stuff as well or whatever. But like, yeah, but
Right.
yeah, I would rather have,
No, I get what you're saying.
any cleric or paladin players. I'd be like, hey, what type of god do you want your character
To follow.
to be following or whatever, and then kind of work from that, and then fill out some of the others after that. But like, yeah. How old is our Minecraft world, Z-Man?
How old is our Minecraft world? So last September was a year. 18 months?
Something like
19?
Oh,
you figured out your
stuff,
I think. I swear I just heard you for a second in the voice. In
Hello?
voice. It shows that you're speaking.
Oh, I must have hit a button. Oops.
I think the default keybind should be V for like your
Yeah,
voice
that's
chat stuff.
that opens up everything. Yeah, I must have hit. I don't know what my mute or unmute button is.
I mean, you probably have
all I did was hit F3 because I was
voice
trying to,
activation as push to talk, or no.
something like that, possibly.
Probably have activation method push to talk. That might be what you have it set up as.
Maybe.
Yeah, because now your thing's muted. But
Yeah. Oh well.
I'm gonna put in one more house for today, I think. Probably another small house somewhere around here.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly my diorite back and
Probably call it there.
yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, now I'm just like I'm enjoying the D&D campaign that I'm running, and I hope you players are enjoying playing. But I'm also, like, part of me is like, I can't wait for this to be over so I can start the Soulless Worlds campaign. Even though I know I've
Fair.
definitely probably not super prepared for that, but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's still a lot more that we gotta do with the Soulless World before I feel like we can make a proper campaign out of it.
yeah. But yeah, ideally I'd like to make a campaign that can go on for several years or a couple years or something.
Yeah.
Or longer, depending on how often
Right.
sessions are and stuff. I would also, I might be getting way out of my league, but I would also, it would be fun to do it as a West Marches style campaign. I'm not sure if you're familiar
West
with
March?
it. If you're
No.
familiar with the term West Marches, it's, I don't know where the term comes from, but it's basically you're running multiple tables in the same campaign. So it's all in the same campaign setting, even all like taking place at the same time, but like you're basically just following different groups of people or whatever.
Why are you following me?
So there's so basically it's consecutive campaigns that are going at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down now.
So like I would, Critical Role is by means not even close to the first campaign to do it, but in campaign 4 they basically had 5 episodes with all 13 players, and then after that they split into 4, 4, and 5 and are on basically 3 different adventures, but they're all kind of tied together still as they're in different parts of the world or whatever, and they're kind of all coming back together again. Like this Thursday is the last episode of the 3rd table before kind of everybody comes back together, like all the timelines sync up, and yeah.
Right.
So that could be kind of cool, because like I have a pretty decent amount of people that I want to invite to be players, and so I figured, hey, if we have a lot of people, like I feel like the world is so huge and massive, and that's what she said, and like there's so much to explore and tell, and I feel like if I'm just everyone is at one table and we're doing one thing, then like there's gonna be parts of the world that we never get to see. But I guess maybe
that makes sense.
It leaves more room for future campaigns potentially set at a different part in the timeline or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Still thinking about it. I guess it'll depend on once we get to that point and I put out the invitations for players to join, how many people are able to.
Right.
But because then it would be like, maybe I'd have some of the first sessions as just everyone together, which would be absolute chaos if we have like more than 6 people probably. If there's like 10 players, and it's just absolute chaos for the first few sessions probably, and then maybe I would do it to where I don't know that I would want to do 3 tables of people, but I feel like 2 tables I could manage. But if I did multiple tables or 2 tables basically.
I feel like if you're going to be doing multiple tables too, that's like a lot and I mean a lot to handle
Yeah, I mean
as
it's
just a DM, like keeping track of player progression, where they're at in the stories, and
yeah.
all that.
It'll be fine. I'll keep like a timeline or something,
Yeah.
and then potentially have where various points where things kind of sync up and everyone can see each other and potentially like going back together as one group for a little bit and then like split off into maybe different groups than they were before.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I haven't fully committed to it, but I feel like it could lead to a broader exploration of the world.
Oh, for sure.
And like also potentially allow for like, hey, not all the players have to agree to do the same thing, because there'll be two groups trying to like it'll be towards the same end goal more or less. Like obviously I'll have to wrap everything up with both groups kind of together, maybe not, I guess, I don't know. But yeah.
Well, we'll leave that
be,
as the to be determined.
Yeah. But you know, they'll have their own things or whatever, but eventually kind of head towards the same end game of the story or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like in Lord of the Rings when they split the party. We'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, someone has to die though. Who's gonna be Boromir? But yeah.
Not me. Not me.
Not it.
I don't want to die.
Nose ghost.
Not it.
But
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, then it could be like, hey, if we did like every week for a few sessions with the full group, and then have it so it would be every week for me, but it would be every other week rotating between the two tables, whatever.
Right.
I don't know. It also depends on what works with everyone's schedules, I suppose, but
gosh darn schedules.
Right. I'll have to figure something out, but yeah, that's the thing about like everyone living in different time zones and having different schedules and having jobs and
yeah. Sucks when your friends live so far away and in different time zones.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just some thoughts I had.
Yeah. I think now that we've kind of like solidified the fact that there's definitely going to be like good factions and bad factions with the humans, I can start to kind of develop more settlements throughout the world.
Yeah,
like what their alignment is going to be.
Pick a spot on the map and be like, okay, what kind of style do I want this area to be built in? Then kind of come up with, okay, are they what are the general feelings towards the Rakhavan Empire, etc.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't even have to necessarily be stupid llama out of my tower. Get out of here. In my way.
Guys, I think he's having llama troubles.
Shit. Ow. Alright, well. Got the trader out at least. 3 leads. Thank you.
That's all the traders are to us anyways. They're just free leads.
Oh
wait, I mean sticks. Did my sticks my sticks probably despawned.
Not the sticks.
Yeah, they've despawned. It's fine. I got wood for that though. Honestly, I do really like how this like construction zone turned out. Because it like obviously the houses are a little more compact in this area. And like I kind of feel like it's good to have something like this. And like since this is the modern part of the world, like things are still being made. Not
Yeah.
everything is just 100% done.
Yeah.
So who knows? I'll probably procrastinate my homework / studying tomorrow and the rest of the week, and I'll start deep diving into the world. Probably fly around a bit, see what regions pique my interest and what types of styles they should be. Type deal.
Yeah. Or even
So I
like
think-
think of, hey, what kind of style do you want to build in next?
Yeah.
And then be like,
'Cause, like,
what would be a good area to put that in?
Because like I definitely feel like high fantasy in general is just like what I'm good at building, but I need to challenge myself to do more than just high fantasy.
Right, but even that, there's a lot of variance.
There's yeah, but I need to branch. I need to spread my wings like a beautiful butterfly. Just get good. I don't know.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
I'm so glad that I wasn't the only one thinking of that.
Is that Bug's Life?
Bug's Life is goated.
I'm a beautiful butterfly. I don't even want to Google how old that movie is.
It's probably legal to drink at this point.
I guess over that.
Oh no, like I'm just saying that's the bare minimum.
Oh yeah.
Of how old it is.
Alright, I'm gonna Google it because now I actually want to know. I'm guessing like 25 years. I feel like 2001.
I feel like it was 2003, so like 23 years. That's my guess.
Oh no.
Is it older than that?
We messed up. It's not 2000s at all.
No?
It's 98. 1998. Ugh.
We're older than the movie.
Yeah. Not by much, though. Oh, no. Ugh.
Horizon old. Oh, my soul
Oh, no.
aches now.
Oh,
There's
no.
literally a tear running down my cheek right now. He's calling me old.
Just wait for someone in chat to, in all seriousness, be like, what's a Bug's Life?
Oh my god, the day that happens, I might actually, like, just die on stream. Who knows? Oh, I don't even want to think about that. Just thinking about it is giving me anxiety. Oh. Poor granddad. Shut up, Faye. I'm not old. Said every person that's approaching 30. Why did I put these blocks away? I need these blocks.
It's approaching.
It's happening with relatively recent stuff too. The amount of kids that will call a collab character a Fortnite character is actually annoying.
It's Master Chief
That is annoying.
from Fortnite.
No, you imbecile. It's Master Chief from Halo. My impatience with the younger generation grows every day. Because one of these days, like, I just feel I'm going to be in class or something, like a year or so from now, and somebody's just going to say something that's going to set me off, and I'm just going to lose it, for lack of a better term.
Oh yeah, like it's already, I feel like, to the point where super young kids are like, hey, what's DVD and Blu-ray?
Oh,
Like, in my mind, DVD and Blu-ray is a new is a newer technology.
right. Well, it's funny too because like my university that I work at, since I'm the one that does all the AV stuff, I'm like, do we seriously need to keep DVD players in the classrooms? I mean, they're DVD and Blu-ray players, but
Blu-ray.
I'm just like, do we still need these? And then that
Disc
just kind of
players were officially released in June of 2006.
Blu-ray players were?
Yeah. 20-year-old
Cries and old.
technology. Why am I doing this to myself?
Why? You're gonna make me have a midlife crisis. Oh. Like a part of me literally died when you said Bug's Life is 98.
Yeah. Imagine if I said Bug's Life is 98 years old.
Jeez. It was 98 years old, then damn.
Be eventually, I guess.
Faces. I grew up on DVD. I mean, it was our generation that had, like, just at the turn of the century, like, we still had VHS players in our homes, or at least I did at my grandparents, because I was there all the time.
My parents
like,
still have a VHS player.
do they even? They probably still have a compatible TV that can use it.
Yeah, they do. And I didn't watch that many DVDs growing up because we had VHSs.
Right.
And like, I remember when Blu-ray came out, I feel like when Blu-ray came out, we had just started buying DVD stuff.
Yeah. That, it's kind of crazy. It's like how people, I wouldn't say, I guess for a lack of better terms, like advance themselves with the technology of the world has drastically changed. It's like the older generation like stayed with VHS and radio and all that stuff. Then it's like our parents then were like the ones that adapted a little bit faster. They're like, okay, we can kind of go with DVD, but we still preferred VHS if they used it.
I don't
Then there's
know
us.
that we ever owned a single Blu-ray, because I don't know that we had a Blu-ray player. We always just had VHS and then DVD.
Well, I mean this with the most sincerity in my heart, Roth. I'm not trying to like call you out or anything when I say this, but like there's different walks of life that are like, oh, we can easily afford a Blu-ray DVD player,
fair.
while others were like, nah, we
Well-
don't need that. That's too expensive.
Middle to lower class.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably like they still make DVDs.
Oh no, they do, but it's
So
quickly
it's-
becoming unpopular.
Right, but it's even back then it's like, why would we get a Blu-ray player and Blu-rays when they're still making DVDs and we have a DVD player?
Right. That
So-
that kind of is like where the whole thing that I was trying to get at
Yeah, so it's
comes
just like,
from. So it's like our grandparents were like, we don't need that. We have stuff that already works at home. Then our parents were like, when they had us, were like, maybe we'll think about it. But then there's us who's like, oh, there's a brand new thing. Can we afford it? Yes, let's get it. Constantly. It's like the next iPhone that comes out.
yeah,
People are just swarming
not
to get
me.
those. And like that even goes for like our parents too. No, not us.
Yeah,
iPhone 12, baby.
hold on, I gotta check what mine is.
I thought you said you also had a 12.
I might.
You need.
About.
I know what I need now.
Oh, I have a 15 actually, but I got it last year. What? They're on like 20 now, aren't they? Something like that.
It's like iPhone 8.
iPhone-
I think 17. I think 17 is the latest one. There might be making the iPhone 18 this year. I don't know. I have to catch up with chat.
iPhone 18 expected 2027.
Phase of 2005 kid. Oh God.
Ray is younger than my youngest. Well, it's my youngest sibling.
Encino says they'll be 30 this year. Ah, there's a creeper.
Okay, Encino's one of us.
Yes.
One of us. One of us. I'll be 29 in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'll be 29 later this year. Oh. There was a creeper that spawned in the attic of one of my builds. Encino says, I grew up with a little TV that had a VHS player in it. Yup. That is... I personally did not have that. My grandparents did. He says, I dread the day a kid asks me what Minecraft is. That's when I will I will look at a child dead ass and just punt it. Kick it across the room. How do you not know what Minecraft is? You're too young. Back in my day, Minecraft was all the rave. Well, let's be real. I feel like it's fairly confident that Minecraft's going to be around for a very, very, very long time. Like, it's literally the most successful, at least I think it is, one of, if not the most successful. It definitely is one of, if not the most successful game franchise ever. It's like, companies are going, like, Microsoft is going to milk the shit out of Minecraft for decades to come until nuclear bombs come and annihilate us all. I feel like that's the only way that will, like, people will question, what's Minecraft? I made 40 buttons. What the hell? I did not mean to do that. Yep, that was a waste. Faye says I am a brat. Absolutely. My dad hung TVs for bars when I was a kid, so he always brought home the old TVs. That is good. That's actually pretty cool. I won't lie.
My parents'
Uh,
basement TV. My dad got because before he retired, of course, when he worked at his job, one of his co-workers' husbands went out and bought a bunch of flat screens for their house, and we're getting rid of it. And so we have this massive entertainment system and this massive, like, you know the proportions of the square TVs, right? They're as deep as they are any other dimension, right? Like they're a square.
Literally
but
a
one of those
box.
massive ones that takes 2 people to carry it. It's so heavy. That's
Yeah.
their basement TV. I remember he came home with that.
God.
And also a bunch of old VHSs because they upgraded all their TVs, and then we're like, hey, yeah, well, guess what? You can't plug VHS players into these new TVs, so we got even more VHSs. So now my parents have like a bajillion VHSs that no one watches, and they just sit in the basement, but it's okay.
You should probably go through those and be like, ooh, people that are collecting these might actually pay well for these.
True.
Let's be real.
Honestly,
People
though,
are definitely collecting VHSs.
We have bought some DVDs recently and stuff. And we bought a DVD player because it's like we have streaming services or whatever, but like
you still want to have the main.
You want to have
actual copies of the game.
Both me and
games,
Waffle are like, it would be nice to have actual physical media still, especially with the the whole thing with, was it Nintendo that was like oh, you don't own the game, you own like
the license
to play it or whatever, basically.
Yes.
And so it's just kind of with that, and then more companies kind of having that kind of mindset
They're
just
too.
like, let's buy some DVDs. And like I had DVDs because sometimes I'd get DVDs for Christmas, so I have a fair amount. But
right,
yeah,
eventually the world is going to be nothing is owned, you just pay a subscription fee to use it.
Yep.
That's unfortunately the reality that we are headed towards, and it absolutely sucks.
It's just like, great, we've reinvented renting DVDs again. Just like with all the streaming, with how many streaming services there are, and like you need specific
We're going
ones.
to bundle all of these streaming services
like,
together so
sick.
that
We
under
reinvented
this
cable
price.
TV.
Yeah.
Cable TV the long way.
Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Encino says bring back Blockbuster. Hell yeah.
Cool. I don't know that I ever went to Blockbuster. I don't think there was really any that near me. There might have been one, but I don't know that we ever went to it, because in this small town that I grew up like 4 miles from, there was a privately owned, like, he's a TV repairman, and they also had a bunch of VHSs and later DVDs and stuff that they would rent out and stuff. But it was just like a mom and pop TV sale, repair, and rent your movies and stuff shop.
Yeah, no, my friend that lived literally 2 doors down from my parents, his mom and stepdad had a DVD rental business for a few years. So I never needed to like go to Blockbuster or any of those places because I would go to their house and they would be like, pick out any DVD you want and you can take it home. I still have some of those DVDs actually in my room.
Nice.
Now that I think about it. Replace that. That's dope. Yeah, it was honestly kind of cool that I could just go there, get DVDs. It wasn't super often, but it was like movie titles that like I liked that maybe didn't sell as well. So they're like, well, gotta do something with these. Hey, the neighbor kid can take them off our hands.
Oh. I remember we rented lots of movies from that place, right? But
Yeah.
the only one I specifically remember is the first Pokemon movie.
Goated movie.
Granted, it wasn't 1998 when it came out. Well, it was 1998 when the movie came out, but it wasn't 1998 when we rented it. But
Right.
it was probably early 2000s or whatever. But yeah, because I wasn't allowed to have Pokemon for a very long time.
Pokemon is satanic. You can't have that in our Christian household.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There's evolution in it. I think I told this story
Evolution
before,
isn't
where my parents finally let me and my brother get into Pokemon and stuff, but instead of saying, "Oh, our Pokemon's evolving," we had to say, "Our Pokemon is turning into whatever it evolves into." we couldn't say it's evolving.
So that is yikes.
Me and my brother were like, okay, deal. Sure.
You know, late at night when you guys are playing on your Game Boys or whatever you played on, you just whisper to each other, "Dude, my Pokemon's evolving." Hear footsteps.
What did you say? Yeah, Game Boy Advance was we had.
What the hell? My thing disconnected for a split second there. That was weird. I need to get a new audio interface. This one's starting to go bad.
Oh, rats. I also forgot I was going to trade with your villagers to repair my axe.
Ah.
Oops. Oh well, that's a future me problem.
Yeah. I'm probably going to finish up this house and probably call it there because it's probably all the time that I have left tonight anyways. I've just been building so many houses. I need to start planning like the commercial district for Duskhearth, like some fruit stands, maybe like a artisan shop for like pottery, even maybe. I don't know. I kind of think about it because it being a rather rural town makes it so that maybe there's not as much available and it's more, I guess for lack of a better term, mom and pop style shops.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it's not really like, I wouldn't necessarily say corporations, but
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, hey, guess what? This is like people live above
this
their
is what the town
shops.
can put together.
Or like, hey, the candle maker, his wife is the baker. Like, he makes candles.
Yeah,
she
like
bakes
stuff
bread,
like a
it's
baker.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
It just reminded me. I drove by
Apiary.
a place that is a chicken and fish shop. Which is like, okay, chicken and fish, sure. Next to it, like it's kind of one building, or like two buildings just like smashed up against each other, but like they're kind of the same shape, so it might be like a split like address thing or whatever. Owned by the same, has the same branding on it, but it's a smoke and a vape shop. Oh, it's the same company or the same person that owns the chicken and fish, and like they share a wall like with same branding
The vape
of the
shop.
place, smoke and vape. It's like, hey, you want to go get some
That is
chicken
so
and fish
funny.
and smoke and vape? And I'm just like, either they have like them having a
That's
smoke and
crazy.
vape shop is either the best business decision they ever made or the worst. Like either they're getting so many
Right.
customers like oh heck yeah, I can get my smokes while I'm getting my chicken, or they have no customers because the smell just seeps through the wall. I don't
Yeah.
know, but that's so funny.
That is very funny. They says mom and pop doesn't sound medieval. How about mother and father's market? Yes.
Mother and
That's
father.
exactly. That's exactly what it
Great,
should be
though.
called.
And I just every time I
But
see
yeah,
that,
it's more of like a communal market commercial area. Is like what I was trying to think of to say, but couldn't say it at the time because Roth primarily holds the brain cell. Do I seriously not have? Damn it! Alright, I feel like that's all I'll need. We'll see. I think the best one I saw was a sex shop right next to a Planned Parenthood. What? That's wild. Did you hear that, Roth?
say it again.
Encino said that they found a sex shop right next to a Planned Parenthood.
Oh,
I feel like those are two very clear, different messages. All right, we're almost done with this, though. Yeah, that's crazy. Lo and behold, it's in Plano, Texas. God. That's the last place you would expect something like that, or is the most expected. Least expected, I feel like. That's wild. No, I feel like that would definitely be like the least expected place for something like that. All right, and the last layer being the spikes. You think? Yeah, that's wild. Okay, that's done. So what we'll do is this path will cut on over this way. to here. So we'll have this little fork. Between here, I'll probably put some more shrubbery in here. Probably put a bush. Maybe along the trail. I don't know. I have a lot of thinking to do. But yeah. I feel like we
gonna
made
be
some
ending
really good-
stream.
Okay. I thought he already had a stream. I'm not gonna lie.
I got distracted. I was looking up an image to send you later.
I'm now slightly terrified, but okay.
See you in a minute. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye. Hopefully, it won't be 2 more months.